Hi everybody. Yes, I'm in my car. Yes, I'm driving. I live in a city where right now my speedometer is right at 2 miles an hour. This is my work commute. We go back and forth from 2 to 10 miles an hour for about an hour, and then again in the afternoon. Welcome to Houston. In another video, I had posted about how narcissist argues and how they like to cover their tracks. I have a more coherent thought about it now after having filmed it, and that's a strategy. This is not an official academic term for it. I don't know what the actual term for it is, but the way I conceptualize it is as a preemptive accusation or a preemptive strike. That's when you know you're about to do something that is going to piss somebody off, or something that is questionably immoral, and you preemptively lay down a defensive framework before you ever do it. Let's say you're planning on having an affair with somebody. Could be your coworker, or if you're on something like Ashley Madison, generally unsatisfied in your marriage or your relationship, and you have somebody else that you want to have sex with, just as a friend or as a whatever the nature may be. You want to see this other person, you want to have sex with this other person. What the preemptive defense is you start accusing your significant other of having an affair. Whatever it is you're going to do, you start accusing your significant other about it and put your significant other on the defensive. Now here's how that works. If you're in a position where you're not actually having an affair yet, you come from a very strong position of truth and correctness. In other words, no guilt. So there's nothing for you to be guilty of yet. However, you assign guilt to another party, and you accuse that other party of what it is you're about to do. You put them on the defensive. And the reason that this works so well is because when you put somebody else in that position, and then they start suspecting you of doing it, that turns into a back and forth, very, very much like the juvenile arguments of, I know you are, but what am I? Nobody wants to get involved in an argument like that, right? Plus, if I'm accusing you of having an affair, and that's something that I would never do, never in a million years, it's like you put somebody in that position of, it seems like he was pretty genuine about that. Well, because he wasn't yet having an affair. But then, after a few weeks, you start suspecting that this person who's accused you is themselves having an affair. Well, now you're in a bit of a pickle, because what do? Obviously this is somebody who's very, very much against infidelity, somebody who cares very, very much about y'all's relationship. It's a natural tendency to think, well, of course they're not having an affair, because I was just recently accused of it, right? It doesn't make sense. Nor is it a battle that you really care to have, because now you're literally launching yourself into that, no, I'm not, you're the one having an affair. No, I'm not, no, you're the one having an affair. Nobody wants to get involved in that. So if you beat somebody to the punch, they're more than likely not going to say anything, even if they're quietly suspicious. They're not going to go down that path unless they have some sort of hard proof or hard evidence. And if you haven't given them anything to be suspicious of, then they're just not going to. Because most of the time after the fact, they will have already internalized it as something that they've done wrong. That's something a position that they've internalized, and they're going to feel very, very wrong for coming back and accusing you of doing it. So I call that a preemptive accusation or a preemptive strike, whatever whatever term you want to assign to it. I think it falls under gaslighting, but it could be a very specific form of gaslighting, and that would make sense. So yeah. Anyways, please like, comment, or share. If this sounds familiar, write some comments. I want to hear from people. Do you have a narcissist in your life? Have you been preemptively accused of doing something that the narcissist was doing from the get-go? Let me know. Thank you very much.